Nice. Good. Wow. Gosh, guys, that's very doable. I'm really impressed. The difficulty of that sequence, like I forgot how difficult it was, but it's great. I mean,
every practice we started this for like an hour.
really,
Again and again and again and again.
you know, I mean,
Since we come back.
like the very, I don't know, like obviously it's not making it, but it's very close. And when you can hit it like you almost don't, there's nothing that builds that type of excitement. There are a lot of parts in this routine that you actually look fast.
Right.
Like some of the swing parts, what's tough is that you've got really tough tricks, and then your energy level goes so high to try to get there that when the swing parts come in, sometimes you're on top of the beat. That's just something that you'll have to conserve your energy, make those breathing moments, but also realize that that's where like blues needs to hang on the back of the beat. It needs to have a swung rhythm to it. And if you're just executing it in moments the same way you'd execute the tricks, you'll look on top of the beat a little. So, but then that goes hand in hand with these tricks. If you don't give it your all, like you do have to at some parts. That's why if you slow it down, the swing parts get even slower. So that's why we tell people like you try to get your tricks up to the speed at which you're most comfortable dancing the filler, rather than if you pitch the dance to the hardest parts, sometimes the filler then looks really bad. So the goal is to keep pushing towards dancing the tricks at the fastest you can, just so you don't. So then again, when we talk about anything to do with the music or speed, we would only pitch that moment. You wouldn't pitch the whole song, because then the swing moments will just get even more slow and you'll probably want to race the beat even more. I took notes throughout, but again, I'm really, really happy with that ending. So I think it's getting close. So I don't know if we talked about this. The starting pose for you, when you kind of have your moment and then you're waiting for him to do something, there's just a long hold for you. And I didn't remember if we gave you an arm or, I almost want to come back to that. And I might want Tatiana to revisit that. Like, what would she do? And it might be as simple as like something developing. Because if my eyes are only on him, I miss it. But there's going to be people that look to him and look to you. There's going to be women judges that look just at you. So followers are usually picky for that. So that's something I want to look at. Just remind me of that. It's right in the intro. If you guys could walk that quickly. So this part, the slide, I get the floor, but it was still good. Boom. Yeah. So it was coming out of that slide that I just, like, still attitude, still something there. Keep going from there, because it auto-corrected my notes, so I need to see what I meant. Something to do with a pose. Dunk. Dunk.
I have a lot of trouble with this move.
Okay.
Getting it exactly here.
Okay. It just getting the speed or?
No, to put the brakes on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I have so much momentum here to nail it here. And also it goes counter
Yeah.
to the rotation. So, and then a lot of times I feel his hands are going to come across my breast.
Okay.
And,
And so his hand is always on the outside, it never catches the back? So he goes up and over.
So, and I also, so I kind of go like this
Okay.
with my hands because I couldn't figure out how he's going to catch me here where my hands are going to be.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, I mean, I wonder if he could shift more. Like, it's weird when it happens on the spot.
Yeah.
I expect the catch to be on this arm, obviously. So you're saying you're not getting it because you have to turn and then fall this way. But I'm wondering if he looked like he went away from you.
That feels better
Because
to
you
me.
might not have to
Yeah.
lunge too much. I think we could just do it all by jumping back. Boom, free spin, pop. And I would say here, you don't need to, like your pose, like I kind of like that angle rather than you completely here or trying to get to the audience. I would just
Yeah.
think it's kind of an angle.
like this,
Yes. Yeah, so I wouldn't,
That's my goal.
Is
but
it?
I never nail it.
but I think it's because you don't have the help you need, because it's the opposite way I should be stopping you.
Okay.
I mean, but us shifting away from you, I think, could fix that. So I don't think it's something that we have to scrap. I think you could just. Boom, boom, toss, ha. Yeah, and it just goes, and again, it doesn't need to be too big. It's just that before, John, you were doing it here, so now if you go away, you just get a little counter there. What rolls? It rolls again, what? Ha, ha. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's just a little of you falling back. So turn, catch, roll. Yeah. Yeah, does that feel better? Really quick.
Check, rolling into an illusion turn from here,
Okay.
which we also have difficulty. And then go first into pause,
Ha.
into the pause and stretch. Go, one, turn, move, hard, sweep.
Good. Okay, that. So for some reason that's still, and this was just a moment for you that when you duck under there, like I still need you to hit something, John. Yeah.
Oh, I'm usually doing with this leg.
Okay, so even that's fine. Yeah. It's just It stands out to me because she hits and it feels like you're just waiting for her to hit. Catch. Boom. Yeah. So, and like foot, head, like even looking, I would look rather than thinking audience. Because it just was a really flat moment. Good, good, good. Good, that was great. And you guys go into the chugs here. And I would just say the chugs, I wrote down chugs as well. I want you to practice a little more back rather than letting them, sometimes they almost look like they,
That was kind of,
is that the purpose?
yeah.
Laurie Schumer suggests us do that as we check.
Oh, really?
She said she liked it, but
Was it originally choreographed that way or no?
no, I think you gave us something.
Was it supposed to like?
You gave me like one side.
Oh, like
Because we only have two.
you only do two.
Right.
The thing about chugs is that they need to look back weighted. So what looked funny to me is the chugged your frame out.
Yeah.
So it's like, unless you're trying to create some new character, it looks like you're imitating a move wrong.
Okay.
Now, if the music had something and you were like, this looks kind of to me like a zombie, or like I could see it being for like a character that way. But if you're trying, like this always had the look of like, cheer for us and more presentation and cool and open.
Okay. So for the record, can you show in the camera?
Yeah.
Chats, how do you want
So
to
now,
shoulder?
my default was always, I like right shoulder, left shoulder. Now, if I don't have time for that, even if I think that way, I would still get the right shoulder for 1-2. I like that better. Again, you guys could make the new chug, but if people don't see it as like, oh, that's clever, if they just think I've seen this before, but it doesn't look right, it already looks like a mistake. But yeah, so like when you roll that shoulder, it doesn't need to go here. Think of it as it's already back, it's just peeling open. That, yeah, and smaller range of motion. Yeah, like you might only do this. That's, less is more there. When you hit it like it's two separate poses or here, it looks too separated. So I wouldn't roll the shoulders that big. But, so we can pause because that was the notes that I was trying to catch up with at first. When you said illusions, is that something you wanted to ask me about that, or it's just?
We have trouble because I often feel that our stretch getting to the illusion is very heavy, very stiff. It's not really stretchy, it's just more like dead and then
Okay.
slow, the move is slow. And this is because it's coming out of these, we have to roll in, so actually, sorry. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6,
Okay.
7, 8.
Well, when you did, like what I would want to find is I'd want to find like a lowering.
The lowering.
Like I feel like the lowering is what makes it look weighted rather than like if we're upright and we try to just bounce, but I almost feel top heavy here. So like when you fall into this, I like feeling grounded. It's like the feeling of like I'm hanging off a cliff. When I get down like that, I can lean against her and I'm on the outside of my feet, but I feel like I look grounded still. That. And then the look of it would be that you fall through it. So you stretch away, but you then keep going. Instead of like a bounce that goes towards her. Instead of like hit,
Yeah.
because then the energy springs back in. So this move goes with you. So it's almost like a delayed rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Now because you're longer and thinner, you just have to watch that it doesn't break too much. Like when you look at this in a mirror, when you see it on the camera, like your hip can be settled, but I don't want it to look like it breaks and sends your torso in. So it still looks like I'm out over my torso and then I can step up right over it. So just the shape of it shouldn't break into a C too much. Yeah. And remember, stretch away and down line, not stretch away and meet her. But that to me looks like the fix. Kick before slide. I really liked the slide that Todd put in, but something about the kick looked,
Yeah,
was that just a bad?
usually it works.
Okay, how does it normally go, just to remind me?
So we have hitch, go, pop, pop, turn, roll,
Okay. You know what I would say about that kick? It doesn't need to be high.
Which one, this?
Yes. I would almost think of it as like something hip level, like waist level that can point, because the higher it goes, if your foot isn't pointed, I notice it. So I would pick a height that like what is the height that your foot can get out there but still look straight?
Well, it's probably because it's somehow because the shoes in this makes it look really terrible.
Or it's probably tough to even point in those shoes, but
Yeah.
even still, I would think about it that the leg adds like a layer of difficulty. It's really not necessary, yet if you can do it, it doesn't hurt.
It's not making it difficult.
Good. Well then I would do it, because it doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
So the only thing would be is if it looks like you're thinking, oh, I'm going to hit him, let me flex my foot, then it doesn't look pretty.
Okay, so,
Yeah, just once more. Boom. Nice. That was great. Good.
I do have a question on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry. As you go out for this hitch and 6 or something, what would you suggest my pulse? Because I've been trying to match her
Okay.
on the things, but
So you're hitching the left leg.
so as we roll out, right? So we roll out on the floor. We have this and hitch 6. What would you do there?
Like I wouldn't want to step 1. So like what is your next pattern?
That's okay. So move. We go hitch and go, and then we go straight into.
So I think I would just go hitch, step, like hook,
Oh,
and then on your 1 I would kick it back
You
or
would-
touch
you would
back.
still- you would still
I like
suggest
it.
matching her?
I like it. I just don't, this feels a little more basic. It's not bad, but to go step into third, where if you went like, if you saw her lift, you go hitch, step, hook, and then like that fades into your next.
Okay.
So just some type of touch back. Boom, boom. Hitch, step, step. Yes. I like that.
then this one is kind of hard for me too. The front foot, yeah.
So we're getting to barrel, 1 foot, turn, drop, that.
Okay, so I was really happy with the transition down and with the transition of the kick over. I always think you could delay more still in the opening at the start. I feel like you could, like, the whole idea of prepping before you rotate, I feel like sometimes you're still quick to go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4,
There.
6, 7, 8, and down.
Yeah, and just, you know, like, I know this doesn't come out of a traditional, what's the handhold? Do you start here or you have it switched?
Start here and switch.
So you're here, we barrel. So like when you turn here, it's not that like I want you to delay, but your arm falls back here. I want you to almost push forward here. Like I want that to be your opening. Like looking on that angle rather than like, he takes my arm, but I'm still,
Can you show her?
yeah.
Do it? No, you are the follower.
Well, here,
Have her hold it, because there's some interesting feeling the way you're getting them.
I feel like because there's, oh, like have her lead it.
Yeah.
Like I have a certain limit to how much I'll let you have my arm behind me because I'd like to still see it in my peripheral vision. This feels like I've lost it in my frame. So the stretch, like even if you just bring this hand to that hand, I would always create that moment. That's my setup. Like if I'm just setting you up in a 1 foot, yeah, so now I would have the hand out in front of me more. So I would, yes. So I would think like your frame limitation, if your shoulders are engaged, would be that that's your limit. Sometimes if this is loose, you can almost get to here.
Yeah.
And you seem so flexible
I
that,
am flexible here,
so yeah, it doesn't seem like it hurts you at all. It just looks like you don't get much help from it. And now, the minute I thought it, you distracted me with the rest, so I don't think a judge would mark it. But like if you're always looking to get better, the initial pose, it's not the picture we want with the hand behind your ear. So try that again. Yes. Now, and then so little things like, John, you can still think forward diagonal. So even though you barrel, you can think like reset rather than like barrel and then my hand could like keep going down line. I always kind of think like, what's the way that I would lead a one-footed turn where I'd bring her straight and then put her forward? I now in the barrel have to think, put her forward. So that'll be just a change of like the positioning. Do that one more time. Forward, up and over. Yes. Good. Little thing on the camel walks, because this is a place where you're kind of looking to get some audience approval, right? So you guys need to get into it. Like your body needs to change in pitch a little bit. Yes. There needs to be a little more forward, back, and then neutral. Sometimes you do the whole thing neutral. So when the footwork looks that minimal, it almost looks like you're walking asking for applause. Okay. So it's like you go into the movement and then it's like, give it to me, give it to me. Yeah, I mean, so it's a little more character driven of like what this is. Okay. But just put that extra bit into that. Then my other note before the end was there's these horns or something where you do the reach backs. Do you know what part that is?
Yeah. It's actually right after the one foot spin.
Okay.
So we did this late fan, and then we come out here and move and yeah.
So the only thing was like sound association to the choreo. I need to feel like the feet, the stretch in your body needs to sound more like that. It almost right now looks like it's just like a fast run. So at some point, maybe I'll get to see that again to music, but I would just want you to think more that the longer you stay weighted forward, the more that reach sells. And if you get back to the foot too soon, it almost looks like you're just marking some type of choreo. Teacher said scoop back twice. So I'm kind of wanting, like what would this, like, is it a bow? Like, am I stretching something? What is the sound that I'm trying to hit with that? Yeah. So the other thing I like that you added is because you stretched your frame opened, where before it was very feet independent only, like just in your legs. So I would want to see that like you get some type of change as you scoot back. Just because I like it, it's kind of unique and it's like a bit of lyrical in a blues routine. So I want it to kind of sell itself rather than look like it's just a scoot. But okay, so let's get to the ending. Good. So like, just really quick, when I'd mentioned that some of the choreo looks like it's on top of the beat or just a little fast, you'll just want to watch, like we worked on that with this, like with the crossover into the lean, not getting here too soon and then looking almost like you're waiting for the music, like preventing yourself and then moving still. One, yeah. So having something still there rather than like if you just find it, you'll almost fall through to the next part. Same with like the click clack even. Doom, doom, doom. Like hold the out 1 and a 2 before you turn. Rather than like doom, doom, doom. Sometimes those are just places where, again, you've done it so many times, you're almost racing through it. But you know it, you know it exactly. You just need to almost like focus on that the same way you'll probably focus so much on this ending. Okay, but now keep going. Loved this. Good.
Yeah.
she has trouble staying
I don't
low.
know exactly how to
So
actually
maybe
do that one.
you can lead her a little bit, and then she can tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Well, I was honestly going to say, when I'd watched it, I thought you could come up a little, but you can come up a little if it makes it easier for you to stay consistent.
Yeah,
I do like it at the same height. Like you went really low in the beginning. I was like, wow. And then, yeah, I could see it was hard to
that's
keep
the
that.
thing. So is there anything I'm not sure how to keep it low.
Well, you could choose to go up a little. That's one thing, because it doesn't need to be that low. You're short as it is, so when I see you drop that low, I'm just like, wow. The thing is, it's like, how strong are you, like almost sitting on your heels?
Well, that's my question is, why am I getting up? Is it something he's doing, or is it?
Let me see it
not
again.
strong?
Let me watch it again. Boom.
See, I can
No, I think it's just, it's not fully weight supported, you know, like
Yeah.
we're passing you off. So we pick you up, but there's a moment where like I lose you, where I'm just trusting that I can catch you. So I feel like if you were super, super low and I lost you, you'd hit the ground. So at some point you're like, shoot, I better hold my balance here. So that's when I start to think, gosh, let's choose that height. Like let's go here, here. Now let's stay at this height the whole time.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would look noticeably bad. The one thing I am thinking is the minute I lose her, like how quick can I hook again? And if anything, I always feel like I'm kind of up because she's down. So the way that I'm supporting her is that when I turn, like right there, like I don't pull her up, but if she fell down into that, like this is here to resist.
The technique that the final version that you had me do after we left was just spinning here and then catch.
Okay.
So I have this side all the time. So I have my left hand on her all the time and spin through it.
Yeah.
That just might be. When I have two hands, I feel like I can support more. This feels more like I'm guiding like multiple flat backs, but like when a follower's standing up. So I don't know. Try what I just did there. Did you see what I did? So I'm just going for the cross again. So I'm here, I switch and I try to go again. So like,
You try to go again.
so I was here, I go here, I turn her, I switch again. So I keep the left. Let me see, we drop, left. But I feel like, I keep the left, but I try to catch the right after I release. Rather than just turning,
Had the,
so I went cross,
the right hand.
yes.
Wait, no, I was doing the same way. So
Catch, drop,
drop.
over.
You were turning with the right hand.
So turning with both, finish with the left,
Finish with the
release, and then try to catch again right away as soon as you can, rather than just finishing out left. So boom, boom. Yes. Here's the illusion is that this looks more recognizable, and there's something about cross, like I almost feel like an illusion is happening. It looks more complicated. So I kind of like that. I don't know if it gives you more support in terms of height or not, if you feel like the second hand being there. I don't notice you standing up if you don't go so low on the first pose. But if you choose the lowest position you can go to start and then you have to step up from it, I just think it's because you have to transition. So I would start a little higher coming out of the sit. And you could just watch that. You know, when we originally choreographed this, or when we switched it, I guess we did like just left.
Yeah.
And for some reason, as I was doing it again, trying to see if I could keep her lower, I wanted to, you see how I wanted to like turn and catch again, rather than just like doot.
What was it going into?
The original was just this. It goes into a sit, but for some reason I like the look of almost illusioning. Like I
I didn't
almost,
see a difference in the two.
it's subtle. Let me do it towards her. The difference was that it went here and then it went like,
Got it. Okay.
and now we're going for here, and I'm like almost wanting it
Oh, that's cool.
I just feel like
that
this
possible?
looks harder.
Are you wearing a mic for some? Oh,
I am.
oh, look at this. Oh,
Super production. Boom, boom. Yeah, it is.
I'm just trying to catch
You're just catching sooner. Yeah. So it just means that if there was a point in here where she felt like this wasn't supporting any weight, so she had to stand up, well, if you could hold her again, that maybe she would think, well, gosh, I could stay more stable with two hands. So it's just trying to catch with two hands a little quicker. It's not a big change. Yes.
Right, so this is all the rolling valves, right?
Yeah.
So now we're getting to the final. So we have point out and this draw thing.
Okay, so these, so let me just say, first note, I like the amount you're getting, even though it probably feels very short, the whole starfish to rotate.
Oh, no.
Are you happy with that?
We worked this out. This
It-
is working now.
It's very much like noticeable, as different. I'm used to this being like posing up, so I like that. The hard,
It's hard. The coming out
yeah,
hard and trying to tell the mark through it.
just know that
Feel like getting
we don't notice your closeness being like, how do you share space as much as you feel it. I know if I was dancing it, I would feel like I'm like stepping on top of her, but as I watch it, I don't notice it. Now, where I notice it being a little off in terms of your guys' height is like this. I almost feel like, John, you have to lower yourself a little bit to make these barrels not look like she's overextending to the point of like having her arms up here. You know, so outside turn, grab her shoulder, barrel. Yeah. I just think that if there's any way as you do it, where do you go into that? Is it, so it's here and then like you're turning this way?
Yeah.
So you're here. So like you did, you had your feet together and you just went from here to here. So this makes you a little shorter. I just think that you have to do something in those moments to crouch, but the crouch can't be open legs. And then how comfortable would you be going up a little bit like on a releve? Like if you were, do you?
I can do it.
Try it again and think more like on your toes. Yeah. I just think that if you thought to actually spin like on the ball of your foot rather than behind the ball of your foot, like more PowerPoint, and if John could get down a little, like I'm getting the speed from it, it just sometimes looks strained. This move should look complicated, but it shouldn't look like it's either like knocking him in the head or pulling you out of your frame. Boom. So lower, yes.
The other challenge that we often have is the rotations, the spinning fingers. It just feels like it's hard and I don't know.
Like hard to maintain.
Hard to maintain in the position that's easy to turn her.
So this drops in between us. Then I go back. So I know that I always can find this for the turn. Now during, I don't care about it because I know it's rotating. But I really love the feeling of collapse. Like I love the feeling of like big duck. I feel like that makes everyone looser. When some people do it and they keep their frame really tight and they only drop their head, I feel like we get stiff through here. So taut lets me like toss her. Like I feel like I'm almost tossing her head down. And she says for her, it makes her feel like almost like a dummy, like not dummy, like a crash dummy. So she goes completely loose, and then that means that I can like really power it without fighting her or hurting her. So think of that. Every time you're still finding this, but when you toss, that this will drop.
sometimes getting this around is so hard,
Just getting the leg.
because the momentum drives me so hard.
Yeah.
And to slow it down to do that.
So it's, for you, it's circular to flat. And like, what can we do to make that feel obvious? So sometimes I think that like you guys could think of it as like, sorry, like, so do you do 2 and then you're at the front? Like you do
Yeah.
1, you do 2, and then now you're at front. Yeah. So for me, it's
We have
like,
a windmill, and then
so it's all of this, like I would go around each other, and then all of this feels now down line. I would make sure that that is obvious to her that it's flat.
Our challenge is also getting there in time with all these spaces going on.
Yeah, now, so the whole thing,
This is the
Tot-
part that we wanted both of you.
Yeah.
because you can show us and
no, and it's great. I think Tot's gonna,
we can.
it's
we
good,
can
perfect time
start
for
it.
you to tag in, yeah.
yeah.
Because I kind of want to, like when we talked about, you know how when we do those more turns, how we're like, I'm harsh with you? Like, go, go, like it's a real toss. So I think it's you guys getting comfortable with how much you can push that, because you're doing it, but I think you guys have a much more drastic height difference. So maybe it's you going down into it, maybe it's her allowing you to collapse more. But that's kind of the part I want to do with her. And then do you guys feel good, like coming out of those, the windmill, like do you know your arms? Like do you know where they're going to go right away?
I know I'm going this. It's her having trouble finding me and then doing that.
Sometimes I feel like that just looks like it's searching for each other for a split
No,
second.
just do the whole thing. Do the whole thing. 'Cause then I can show the real.
So duck, turn, windmill, boom. Yeah, no, they're getting really good with it. That one seemed better. Again,
It's okay. We can also talk more the challenging parts within this pattern.
do you travel on that at all?
I do
Or
travel a little bit
like
because
scooting?
sometimes she has to. Yeah, I do a little bit scoot sometimes, or sometimes I come forward if she comes.
I would think of it as like there's, to me there's always this chassé to kind of catch up with her, but I was surprised at how, like to me it almost felt like it happened, it looked tight. Like I almost wish that out of the last one, so let's say we were here and we just did our last one, like I kind of wanted this to move a little. I don't know, sometimes
Different feel.
I feel like this, it looks like it bumps into the rib cage because it's all happening here. So they do,
Oh, really? Good, I gained it. Oh, but you told me during the pandemic, where I've gained and lost through the whole thing. Yeah.
so they did flat back go. They've done, like, let's say this is their second and last. And then we do windmill, and then she, off the rib cage, does a big fan, like fan, and then into the next piece. Do that one more time for her so Tot can just see it in her head
Sorry,
again.
It's been so long.
I just go through the whole thing.
Yes, so this section, they're getting it, they're just always like right almost there.
Connection, timing.
And they feel like they're not hitting it on time.
Okay, you can stop right there. Yeah.
No, they're gonna do it.
Oh, I know. I saw her do that part. I don't want her to stress out too much. So 2 things I saw. I didn't see the power. And then the ronde, I have the ronde a little sooner.
Which one?
Sorry, yeah. Start it. Like, if you need to even think that way. Because when you went to ronde, it started here.
Yeah.
So,
Like under rotated and
under rotated. So I want to feel his thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to feel the whole thing.
The whole thing. Alright, so little kick.
Boom.
Oh yeah, I want you to throw me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Throw me.
Feel,
So let me see.
Don't
So
hesitate.
here, We kick, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we duck first, right? So
Yeah.
she wants that.
Oh, so the lead coming from
The
left
lead
hand.
coming from the left.
Left
Boom.
hand.
I almost feel more power up here than I even do when you touch
So
me there.
I lead so much here that then this is just along for the ride. And this is the feeling that I feel like I'm collapsing her down, down. Whoa, like every time. Do it without
know.
traveling out.
Sorry,
Drop
hard
your
to
mask.
girl.
Drop your mask on your chin for a second.
I'll put it back on.
And you broke.
I have another one. I'd like to stop.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm just going.
the toss is down each time rather than like up and over like a flat back.
Can you try with Jordan out?
Try me.
Try with top. So you try with Jordan, so feel how that. So
I'm gonna watch him do it. Boom.
And then be quicker with the flip. So watch. I want you to go more. There. Okay, now.
more as out or
No, it's more forward and down. So you're trying to
Forward and down.
collapse her frame. You're trying to collapse her frame.
I'll be honest. Jordan's feels tighter. You feel longer. Go ahead.
The next thing is that like she should have enough momentum that she free spins. So you're then it's like almost like this hand catches up with it.
Sorry.
Like now if I turned with Tot when I do it, sorry Tot for boom. Like I just have to almost catch up with her hand up above. This is what builds the momentum.
okay.
Do it with Tot once because it won't be too hard for her.
Okay, don't be nervous. Now that has a flip sooner. So watch this. Go slow motion. Power to bring. This has a flip quicker. That way.
Yeah, because you can't give the compression to pulse until your hand flips.
Flip. Flip. I keep squeezing. Let's do that. Yeah. No, it's fine. See how I'm squeezing and going one to flip?
Kind of.
So you kick.
I was listening to you or I didn't notice that.
So when you
Yeah.
do this,
Yeah.
That feels great.
and
That
this
felt
is
good.
the-
Does it help?
Yeah, I might be able to get it now with this.
It's hard because for us it feels aggressive.
Yeah.
It's just what we learned, like
But-
how far we could push it and still feel safe.
Go slow motion for a second so I can feel something. Once you duck me, this feels quicker on you than him, but
Yeah, because I know that like I can't compress the pulse from here, but if I can get my hand to here, like I can pulse out again. So we
really
duck
gorgeous.
and then I flip my hand. So now I can lead that turn. So I'm trying to get my
Feels
thumb
like- It
down.
seems like Tatiana is saying that I'm flipping here too late. Flipping this motion too
Then
late.
maybe you're flipping too late because I can't see behind me.
Yeah. I mean, because you want to see her right away. So you duck her and you want to look back. So maybe just turning back to face her would get your hand.
And spacing that.
Turn, look at her.
Go. Go. Yeah.
That was good.
Try that with him. Put my hair up.
Yeah. It looked aggressive in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, and it reminded me because I haven't even thought of it of like in a routine. When we did it, I also like how you were like go. I had to say that when I did it. I had to say ba. Like every time I did it in the routine to like make it feel like it was pushing enough, it was ba. Ba. I would say that to try to remind myself like we got to get around, got to get around. It was just powering myself. But I liked seeing you looking for her again, rather than like turn, let me spin her to me. It looked like the minute she ducked, you were already looking for her.
So try one more time walking it and stop right after.
Right after I flip.
Flip. Flip and then stop. There's
So it's out before the like,
flip. Flip. Tape.
yeah.
That's better though. Where you kicked was better. Yeah. That's why I wanted to see that part. So yeah, like if you need a
So
thing,
from the last turn, what you normally,
Not yet. There's email.
did it help to think that way? You're kicking sooner than I wanted it.
part of the challenge.
Do you want
The fan leg,
take
what
it
do you
out?
think? No. No, because they're right, like you'll see it, they'll do it to music and it's like, gung, like they're right there. So I like the look of almost missing it.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things with the fan too. I know you're working on your flexibility with that. The fan, I'd hate it if the fan looks flexed or it doesn't look like a good line, it takes away from the difficulty of all of this. Like, I'm just wondering what is another option of the point, like a
Are those
lower
harder pointing,
one.
though, those shoes you're wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said also just even
When
with a
we
knee
look at even her
pad, but
pointing, it looks flat. So it's the shoes, because you're not going to wear those. So, yeah. Did we have to talk about pointing with you when we were working at the house? I don't think that was ever a concern for
I thought we just brought up the training of stretching.
Yeah, I don't have a great point, that's all.
Okay.
I mean, I can point, but it just,
Yeah, it's just practicing.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
you should it's just like sitting here watching TV.
I know, I've tried, believe
You
me.
did good.
It's,
Well, again, you're even trying to point and it looks flexed. Those shoes have I
yeah,
can tell
those
the
shoes are
button.
terrible.
Yeah. So let's push her from just practicing and trying to point because she won't be able to. in those
Okay. Do you want to just go from the fan?
shoes. Yeah. I didn't even have a kick. I'm like, do those again. Okay, so her hand now where it is.
Sorry, shut. Do the fan again.
You're grabbing me more than countering. Then it's like these two little hooks
Oh,
where you're
yeah.
finding the counter. You right away grab me that I don't even want. It's hard to lean into it, to be honest with you. So when I go here,
And you
Ducky,
flap
ducky.
again.
yeah. So right now I just feel Jordan over the top. So I'm like, oh, I feel like Titanic. I can lean.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see, how do you bring it back?
I also felt at the end, it was off and on.
Yeah.
It's not consistent. So
And that could just be the difference of him trying it with you now compared to her,
Could
but
be
the
him.
hands definitely have to change.
yeah, I really feel grip. I feel pressure down, and I shouldn't.
So Tot should be able to fall away from you. Put your hands there, John. So Tot should be able to fall
See?
out away from you.
Can you actually like go like this? There.
Yeah, now just don't let your arms fully extend. So like there's already a shorter limit and you're gonna sit away from it.
So I'm gonna be like, I'm free.
There, yeah.
That's better.
So that's your limit. Slight
Okay.
bends in the elbow and you're sitting to kind of counter away so your hips
Wanna
can go
press?
back a little bit.
Okay, but okay, so it was going really well. I'm still going forward. You went too quickly left. So you shifted the.
So you will
axis.
always be like this. You'll always be in that
I
line.
forget. I'm just gonna kick anywhere.
Okay. Oh shit, I won.
Oh my gosh, it was better. Whatever you had to do to make it feel always this way.
And go with me. So here's another thing. I feel like socially, because this just reminds me of like if I had to jump into it, I always favor behind, I never get further forward. So I was looking to see, do I ever end up on this side of her, and I don't. So if anything, I'm directly behind her or go, or I'm favoring, you see how I'm favoring the right side of that foot? Just because it keeps me a little under rotated.
Good point. Try that, honey. Because I do feel you more on my left than my right. So that was comfort. Okay? My feet are stuck. You're fine. Yeah.
Now just
It seems like
do it together though. Do it with Ruth.
I'm also probably doubled your weight too.
Boom, 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 boom.
Same idea.
But-
I mean, have more success than this.
But again, watch that it doesn't like let her go. So like the minute she kicks, like let's say like I could see the speed of her leg. Like let's say her leg made her wanna like I won't let her go any further. I feel like there was a stopping point where I saw her left leg swinging across and I had to be like, oh, that's as far as you can go. By pulling my left arm back. So it's like I felt like this could stop her left leg because I felt like she wanted to go, and if she got ahead of me, do you see that? Now I'd be playing catch up. So like I was able to almost like hold her back a little bit. So I feel like because I pulled back her left elbow, her left leg only went to there, it didn't cross.
How do you get me back from
From the ride?
From the ride.
Well, remind me of your exit. Like, I know I have to
you're
lift you.
lifting.
I know I have to lift you on your
That's what
axis.
we were
She wants to know how you're
wondering,
getting her
if
on
you're
weight.
lifting.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to lift a little. But do you lift on the audience side? I'm trying to remember the transition. What does it do?
You, not necessarily on the inside. You said, because we're going by the counts. So it's like 2, 3, 4.
That was
5,
good.
and 6, and that's so
Yeah.
We don't always end up the same way. We have to actually do it.
What, yeah, normally, actually, we have pretty
So
good success
you
rate.
were here, and then the lift, just know that like that's enough. Now you can go into turn. Watch that the
She often
lift,
says that I didn't bring her fully back
Yeah.
enough.
He
I'm
leaves me
like,
out
I
here.
already.
so
The
what,
lift probably helped what you just said. It
yeah,
helped
but the
you.
lean, here's the thing. I want the lean to not be so obvious, like lean out. So this to me is all I feel responsible for because I can do the next corkscrew. Like I can get her up. I can do that with that little of a lift. I didn't need to like go and then now go.
Yeah.
Because if I see it during the turn, it gives it away and it looks like you're holding her up.
That's what she was asking me to.
So let's just say we want to do it. I just don't want the range of motion to look like it's here. I want you to just, and it could also be that maybe you guys were leaning out too much because I feel like it should be from here to here. It should be so subtle that I can get Todd over her feet and like she can do this next turn.
Okay.
Just that. Watch out when you're walking back. I know it sucks.
Well, I mean, truthfully, I'm going as far as he's letting me, and I'm not really trying to go too much forward or stay, I mean, it's a lot I feel in his hands.
Are you saying exit?
No, just the amount of lean. If he leans, if he lets me out, and I have no choice, you know.
Then you go further. Yeah.
Further, yeah.
No, so to me it's that when he brings you back up, it should only be that like, that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I got to get her here and hold her here. Like I get her here, we do the turn. The minute she's over her axis, I turn her.
So,
Yeah, that just didn't seem, that seemed like it was on the back half.
I want to put something. Let's just go into a lane. I'm gonna let this up, no circle, and then get me back to my foot. But yeah, do it again, but just do it from forward. That was better. That was more linear right over. You kind of went the first time you took me this way, where my foot's here, and you kind of went that way, and then you went actually right over my foot. I also don't lift the arms with him. I don't know when I saw your arms lift, so that's what I'm trying to feel it. I saw you kind of go like that with it. I keep my arms where they are, even if he lifts me. I lock them more in place.
I like that. Oh, but that's
You
just,
took her to the right.
yeah, but no, but the whole thing was falling.
I know.
That was falling past the
But
foot.
I like how your arms didn't go with.
Yeah, she countered that. Yeah, the
So what's the
thing,
next part now?
it goes up and over one windmill and then they go into next ride. It just looks like if
Do that. Just that.
If the ride gets too extreme to where this leg, it's like countering like that,
Yeah.
there's no standing up, like it always falls. So it's like, this should be, to me, more simple because we need this to be crazy.
look at my knee, yeah.
Like it progresses. So the first ride to me doesn't have to be like, sometimes it almost looks like it tilts.
I'm not allowing it to. I go to here and I'm like, nope, that's it. So I'm like memorizing this position.
yeah,
But,
I do too.
yeah. But, so do it one more time. I want to see something that I saw. So try not to cross your legs. That was good. Your shoulders went up though, just so you know when you lifted. So
When he pulled you in.
when he pulled you in. You made it work though, but be careful.
Yeah.
Didn't bring me enough back. I think this is in response to not getting back. That does, overall, been very hard for him to bring me back.
I'm
So
gonna
I'm
lean
trying to
less.
help.
Do the
Okay.
duck me. Go ahead. I'm also doing a heel toe action too, just like, so when I'm here, the weight of my body is of course favoring, if I think about my right, the forward part of my foot. When he places me on here, on my right, I'm putting weight on the ball of my foot or power point to let my heel rotate. But then I can go heel, toe if I need to alternate. Heel, toe to start the next action. So it's giving balance. Not real, that would be a nice safety mechanism, but if you want to try that real quick, like just go from the lean, and when he turns you, heel, let your heel down, and let your toes switch to the next section. So I was able to balance myself with what he
Okay,
did.
watch out behind you.
See? That, you would have made it, but you gave up.
What?
You would have made it. What felt wrong?
Well, the whole thing was very imbalanced.
Didn't look like it to us though. So it just, sometimes when you think, you know, like when we do something, and if we mess up something,
Yeah.
no one saw it, we felt it, and we look at the
Yeah.
video, we're like, we don't even,
Yeah.
why are we
Yeah, I
so
mean,
upset?
it's a hard
Okay,
transition.
But, go ahead. Okay, sorry. Why do I feel, he almost pulled my arms up. Do you notice that?
Did
So can you think of more of an escalator, not straight up?
Okay.
So, I'll go left.
around.
Escalator.
Too much time in between. I mean, it was gonna work, but you went here, and I was like, go. So Jordan goes with the momentum, right? You
Yeah,
go-
and it's got a scoop, like, because this angle of this move, it's like down and over. It's not up
Okay.
and turn.
I felt so much
This
more
stupid
separation.
wristband is
Hold on,
horrible.
Jordan.
But
he-
you felt like in,
it's
pause,
like,
then
boom.
go.
You're
Like-
going like pull. You almost stop pulling with this. You keep pulling with this, and then you scoop. It's
Yeah,
like
go. So you're going. I get her up,
See?
up and over.
You keep pulling with that more to really center me, and you almost give up, and it's so blended.
So it's all one piece.
He's like, because you're nothing wrong with that. You're trying to do what we're telling you to pull in all that stuff. But now we got to blend it.
Okay.
And I have to stop using this side. So let's just lean.
And also,
So we're leaning.
yeah,
Hold on.
but
We're leaning.
I almost want him to like just bring you up and go for a windmill.
Slide me and keep pulling. So it's like boom, keep going, and boom. Now in the windmill, don't take it right. So with the windmill, do it here and then go right.
And a windmill feels continuous in terms of connection because it almost feels like, lean away, Top. It feels like whatever I had to keep it.
See, it's all right here.
So if it felt heavy here, I had to keep that tension in the up. I do it though. Yeah.
That's really good. No, I'm just.
Go.
I want you to know so you can critique it better.
But like,
Some more.
keep it.
Yes. Yeah, you're like that stick, that pole, and then you go now circle, right?
Yeah, but now you can take this isn't a halo, the axis of this, it feels like this. Now you're not gonna tilt her, but like, do you see how that down and around?
Don't.
So you went from here to like only wanting to stir there. So I want you to feel like,
You still want me to go down and up?
yeah, you get to, because like when she comes up here, this angle, it doesn't go up right away. It's still there and over.
So let's just do this little baby steps here. Okay. As soon as you start pulling me back, I'm gonna do this slowly. Pull down, there.
Pull down.
Yeah. It's two again, like boom, down. Too late.
Yeah, like it makes me wonder, like, do you, like, socially, would you ever do this as a transition? Would you ever be in a pose or have arms or even if I roll a follow in, sometimes I will do windmills where I'll go to the elbow. And that feeling of being posed and knowing that this isn't gonna come up here, so that's different. I have the same catch, but I tried to do a halo. This drops and comes up and over. So right away she knows the angle. So with this one, it's gonna be the same thing. She's here, and you're gonna kind of show her her angle down to up. But now maybe do it with Ruth.
In place, not to the right.
In place, not to the right. In place, not to the right.
You did it one time with me.
But also, I don't know, do you see, right when they start, do it with me, hold me, it looks like Ruth's line is, it already falls past this leg. I want it to look more like it's leaning out.
Like I almost want you to think side.
Yeah, you don't bring the leg forward.
No, but yours is starting to.
I'm asking. to-
Tatiana doesn't.
You do.
No, and even if it comes in, it never lines up in front of her hip.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
She just said that's.
It's something between us that we've been working on. So is this where the light goes?
Yeah, because it's just a little closer to the
On the
axis.
left side, yeah. It's, this cross leans right.
That one looks damn cool. It's
Oh,
just we
good.
couldn't. Her other one looked damn cool as well. We couldn't do the transition that we choreographed if you were lean that much. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was one version.
You know, we have two versions.
But-
One with,
All right. Another version. Do the whole thing.
Ooh.
Similar to
Oh my God.
We haven't tried this for two, 3 weeks. So.
I love it.
do you like it?
I like it.
Time though.
It's more wild.
Lori Schwimmer told us this one. Based
Yeah?
on your version, she said we can try that, but we have even more difficulty.
I like
When did
it.
you see her?
Fitted.
When did you see her?
Desert City.
Awesome.
I like it. They're already struggling.
Time-wise.
To me, it's
I mean, if you guys feel when they get ready to perform, they can decide. No?
yeah. Well, no, like yeah. If you got to a point where the one that we gave you is easy, this is a slightly more death-defying version. To get to this, it was a little more wow.
It's not any different.
For me, it makes the next transition a little wild. Like because of the shorter arm and the version that we gave you, you're better with the stir into the pose. Now when you're at hand hold or wrist to wrist, the last part just like, almost like we lose you.
We've been successful.
Yeah, so I mean, we would be happy with either one if you could execute it.
I like it. It's great. But if you, let's say you go through your routine and you put that one in and you 50-50 chance and you're about to compete.
right.
The wrist.
It's not worth it because I was very wowed by the first one too.
No one knows what they haven't seen,
Okay.
right?
True.
So,
Kick,
boom.
flat back, we talked about tossing down. Tatiana
Here.
kicks right here, windmill, and then I guess I would have to go, let me see, do your kick right away, because I have to flat back. So, boom, boom, here.
Yeah, try it. And see, in the music, go, or,
Do you want us to?
in the music, play it real quick, but I want, do you want to go eat? No, I can play it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
Jordan
and
has to go eat, but let me just do this.
eat. Let me leave this with you. Good job, guys.
I leave it to you now.
Oh yeah, talking.
So, play that again.
Will you remember
hold me.
chord?
And then,
That red chord for the road.
do you want me to collect the money?